Metroid Prime Federation Force has not had an easy road to the market. From the moment it was revealed back at E3 2015, fan opinion struck back hard against this next-level games-developed project. Despite knowing virtually nothing about it, the fact that it didn't star Samus and took on a different style from other games in the series made it an instant outlier. But now that the finished product is out in the wild, we can finally measure this game on nothing more than its true, honest quality. I'm John Reardon, you're watching NWR TV, and this is our review of Metroid Prime Federation Force on the Nintendo 3DS. Federation Force is set directly after the events of Metroid Prime 3 Corruption, and deals with the aftermath of Planet Phase's complete obliteration. Suffering from the loss of Phazon as a renewable energy source, the Galactic Federation seeks out a new advantage over the omnipresent space pirates. Naturally, giant robots were the first thing to come to mind. These prototype mechs are piloted by an elite group known as the Federation Force. With the space pirate threat still very prevalent across the galaxy, the Federation Force is dispatched to the Bermuda system to reclaim a Federation mining station. As you might suspect, the situation quickly takes a turn. Your first mission takes place on the snow-covered world of Excelsior. After finishing it, you'll unlock levels on Bion, a desert world littered with the ruins of a long-dead race, and Talvania, an industrial world guarded by ancient security systems. The levels themselves all feel unique and different, even those on the same planet. Some missions focus on exploring large environments to activate an uplink or to find an item to return to your ship. Others rely heavily on solving puzzles to navigate an expansive structure, and some task you with fighting off hordes of enemies under varying circumstances. The incredible variety of missions that the player is presented in Federation Force is something that caught me completely by surprise. Before the start of each mission, you're given an opportunity to customize your mech in multiple ways. To start, you have the opportunity to equip mods, which alter your mech's performance. You'll begin the game with a couple basic starter mods, but the rest are found through classic Metroid-style exploration. Off the main path, you'll find hidden rooms, locked doors, and secret areas that contain random mods. These areas can often only be accessed via the use of specific weapons, which leads to the next stage of customization. After setting up your mech, your team is able to choose what gear you'll take with you on a mission. Rather than Samus finding conveniently placed upgrades in ancient ruins, you'll instead pick your arsenal from the Federation Armory. All your favorite Metroid weapons are here: ice, shock, plasma, missiles, and super missiles, along with plenty of new items exclusive to Federation Force. Beyond weapons, there are also defensive items such as shields, decoys, proximity mines, and energy tanks that can be fired at allies to restore their health. You only have a limited capacity on your mech, however, so it's imperative that you implement strategy when loading up. Federation Force can be played either single player, locally, or online. And unlike Triforce Heroes, I was delighted to find that great effort had been put into creating a robust and enjoyable single-player experience. When played solo, the game offers up a variety of changes to help balance the experience. First, you'll have access to a special mod that gives you some extra firepower and reduces the damage you'll take. You'll also have the option of bringing along up to 3 drones. These drones hover just above your head and help you fight enemies. It's crucial to note that these handicaps are purely optional and can be removed to add more challenge to the game. It is worth noting, however, that while the game feels excellently balanced for 1 or 4 players, playing it with only 2 is quite challenging. You won't have the firepower enhancing mod present in single player, and those drones, while helpful, can't bring anything besides a standard power beam into the field with them. This increase in difficulty also brings into play a substantial complaint: there are absolutely no checkpoints. While early levels are often quite short and not too difficult, later levels can take upwards of 20 minutes. Dying on the final boss and being sent all the way back to the lobby to try again from the very beginning can be extremely frustrating. On the bright side, should you meet with an untimely demise, you won't feel like it occurred unjustly. The game controls fantastically. The controls are essentially the same as Metroid Prime on the GameCube, but with one monumental improvement. You move with the circle pad and hold down the L trigger to lock onto enemies. However, because aiming is now tied to the gyro, much like Splatoon, you're still free to move with the circle pad while freely aiming around the environment by holding down the right trigger and moving the 3DS. The game handles beautifully with this setup. When it comes to the bonus multiplayer mode Blast Ball, you'll be delighted to know that you can indeed carry over your profile from the demo version into the full game. If you didn't play the demo on the eShop, then you are in for a treat. Blast Ball's simplistic gameplay is a ton of fun. It's soccer with giant mechs, a giant ball, and lasers. What more could you ask for? The occasional lag can cause the physics to behave in a less than ideal way, but for me, these moments haven't cropped up very often. The presentation and graphical style of Federation Force is jarring when compared to the dark, realistic feel of the home console Metroid Prime games, but it solves a problem that cropped up with the DS game Metroid Prime Hunters. While technically impressive, the adaptation of the Prime style on DS resulted in hard-to-see enemies. Federation Force adapts to that problem by presenting bulkier characters, and it's better for it. The world and characters still feel very much like Metroid Prime, especially Metroid Prime 3, with its vibrant colors and gorgeous bloom effects. Beyond actual design, the presentation on a whole is absolutely astounding. The character animations for your mechs and the enemies are brimming with personality, and each cutscene is produced with a degree of quality that absolutely holds up against the very best the series has to offer. All of this is further enhanced by a wonderfully orchestral score that blends motifs of the classic Metroid Prime games with a more militaristic style that harkens to something composed by John Williams for Raiders of the Lost Ark or Star Wars. Play this game with headphones, and thank me later. Metroid Prime Federation Force is absolutely a Metroid Prime game. It incorporates fresh ideas and presents them in unique ways, but it never forgets where it comes from. The co-op online shooter genre is a bold, new venture for Nintendo, and one that they've taken to with surprising aptitude. The odd lack of a retry button adds a noticeable hiccup to an otherwise wonderful experience, but it's one that's easily overcome with a little patience. The default controls improve upon those of the original Prime games brilliantly. All of this is wrapped up in a fantastic presentation that will keep you locked into the game's story until the very end. Metroid Prime Federation Force is, without a doubt, one of my favorite 3DS games of all time. But what do you think? Let us know in the comments down below, and if you want to read even more about Metroid Prime Federation Force, you can read my full written review at NintendoWorldReport.com. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to Nintendo World Report TV. If you enjoy what we do here, you can check us out on Patreon at patreon.com/NWR. Once again, my name's John Reardon, and I will see you next time.